but be reminded that, I've been to Australia many, many times. And according to the, anthropologists and archaeologists there, the average Australian Aborigine um, would eat more than 1,000 different kinds of foods in a given year. They would go along the beach and eat, sea stuff, and then they would get, crickets and, different things, and berries and in season as they migrated around, and and they ate huge varieties of foods. And if I think I've mentioned this on here before. If you get, for example, Martha Washington or Dolly Madison's cookbooks, from back in colonial days, half of the stuff in there we don't even know what they are. Currant berries, and why? Because they didn't have a Walmart, and so they had to produce. They had to produce their fruits and vegetables, through the season on their own places. In grass farming, the original prairies that fed the bison and elk and deer and all that stuff had up to 100 different species of forage per acre. Everything
Wow.
from flowers to legumes to grasses to, forbs and forbs, weeds. And so the bison's intake was incredibly diverse. And in fact, the Bionutrient Association is working on this, big beef nutrient analysis now ongoing. And the one thing they've found with their whatever 450 to 500 samples of beef they've tested is the single most important aspect of nutrition in the beef is how many different kinds of plants did the cow eat?
Yes. And this makes so much sense. So, part of that is this is what I think now. When you're getting that much diversity, yes, you are getting a variety of different nutrients. So I'm not saying, I don't want people to walk away thinking that I'm saying you don't get any of these nutrients from your foods. That's not what I'm saying. We obviously get nutrients from our foods, at least we think we do. So when they're eating that diversity, they're getting, I had to throw in that little caveat because who knows, right? We're not down there. It's like Dr. Cowan. We're not down there watching what's happening, right? So we're
Right.
presuming we're absorbing this. So we have this diversity that they're consuming, and we're getting presumably nutrients from that. But what is it also doing? It's building a diverse microbiome, right? It keeps it diverse because you have different fuels coming in, feeding the different microbes, and presumably they're not like it's not sprayed with glyphosate, right? We don't have all these other toxins that are on it. Glyphosate is a patented antibiotic. So presuming we're not doing any of that, we are building a robust microbiome. And I think that is, I know people talk about the microbiome a lot, but I think that is much more important than we even realize. And I didn't really realize it either until. If you'd like to hear more, check out our Beyond Labels podcast. The link is in the description.